Welcome to Chroma Celebs. I'm Rose, bringing you the latest shocking updates on Sister Wives. Unexpected twists, emotional moments, and unbelievable drama. Stay tuned till the end. In a dramatic turn of events that fans of Sister Wives have come to expect, Meri Brown, the original first wife of polygamist patriarch Kody Brown, has once again stirred conversation and controversy. This time, it wasn't a scene from a TLC episode or a tell-all special that lit the fire, but a seemingly pointed Instagram post that has all the markings of a carefully curated message aimed at one specific person, her ex-husband, Kody Brown. Followers of the long-running reality show, which has chronicled the lives, struggles, and splintering of the Brown family, are no strangers to cryptic posts and passive-aggressive remarks, especially from the wives. However, Meri's most recent online declaration stands out. It is raw, resolute, and tinged with what fans interpret as deliberate shade aimed directly at Kody. Meri Brown has been a mainstay on the TLC reality series since its inception in 2010. Back then, she was the legally married first wife of Kody Brown and held a somewhat exalted position within the family. Over time, however, viewers witnessed the unraveling of her relationship with Kody, which began to deteriorate publicly after the infamous catfishing scandal that deeply embarrassed the family and left Meri emotionally devastated. The relationship suffered further after Kody made it increasingly clear that he no longer had any romantic interest in Meri. As years passed, their interactions grew colder and more transactional, to the point where they seemed like distant roommates rather than former soulmates. By the time season 18 aired, both parties had confirmed they were no longer together, ending what was once the flagship marriage of the polygamist Brown family. Meri's recent Instagram post comes as a defining moment not just in her ongoing personal transformation but also in the broader narrative of the fractured Brown family. The post featured an image of Meri looking serene yet powerful, standing in the wilderness with her arms outstretched and her face turned to the sky. The caption beneath the photo was what truly caught people's attention. "Sometimes you have to burn the bridge, not to teach them a lesson, but to keep yourself from going back to a place that no longer serves you," she wrote. To the casual observer, it could be seen as an empowering message about growth and self-preservation. But for longtime followers of Sister Wives, it was a loaded statement, one that appeared to be a veiled reference to her marriage with Kody Brown. Meri's fans immediately flooded the comments section with messages of support and validation. "He never deserved your loyalty," one follower wrote. Another added, "Good for you, Meri. You're finally seeing your worth." These reactions underscore the prevailing sentiment among viewers that Meri had long been emotionally neglected by Kody, who openly stated on multiple occasions that he was no longer attracted to her and had no desire to rekindle their romantic relationship. For many fans, Meri's new post marked not only a bold declaration of independence but also a form of poetic justice after years of perceived emotional abuse and marginalization. What adds further weight to Meri's post is the timing. It was shared just days after Robyn Brown, Kody's last remaining wife, gave an interview in which she referred to Kody as a man who always tried his best and lamented how the other wives just gave up. This comment ignited backlash, as fans accused Robyn of whitewashing Kody's role in the family's breakdown and unfairly blaming Meri, Yanel, and Christine for choosing to walk away. Meri's Instagram post, though not a direct response to Robyn, seemed almost strategically placed to shift the narrative back in her favor. It redirected the conversation to her personal growth and reframed her decision to leave as a necessary and empowering move rather than a failure or betrayal. In the world of social media, timing and tone are everything, and Meri's mastery of both did not go unnoticed. For years, she was often portrayed on the show as emotionally needy, clinging to a broken marriage while Kody moved further and further away from her. Yet now she appears reborn, confident, self-assured, and unapologetic. Her business ventures, including her B&B Liz's Heritage Inn, are thriving. She's traveling, networking, and expanding her brand, all while carefully crafting a new public image that's less about being a sister wife and more about being her own woman. The deeper implication of Meri's post is that it may also be signaling a broader shift in how the former sister wives choose to engage with the world, and with Kody post-divorce. Christine has openly shared her joy in her new monogamous marriage to David Woolley, frequently posting playful videos and heartfelt tributes. Yanel, while more reserved, has expressed her happiness in regaining autonomy and focusing on her children and her own well-being. Meri's post places her firmly in this group of liberated women, unafraid to use her platform to speak her truth, however subtly. One of the most compelling elements of Meri's transformation is how it reflects a larger movement among women who are redefining themselves after the end of long-term emotionally draining relationships. Through her vulnerability and resilience, Meri has become a symbol of strength for those who've endured years of gaslighting, neglect, or silent suffering. By choosing to walk away and not return, symbolized by the burning of the bridge, she is declaring that her journey forward is more valuable than any false sense of stability from the past. The question on everyone's minds now is how Kody Brown will respond, if at all. Known for his volatile reactions and defensive posture in the face of criticism, it's possible that he may address the post in a future Sister Wives episode or a tell-all special. Alternatively, he may remain silent, choosing to let the media and fans interpret Meri's words without interference. Either way, Meri has taken control of her narrative in a way that leaves little room for misinterpretation. Her message was loud and clear, even if unspoken. The Instagram post also reignites the long-standing debate about Kody's role in the breakdown of the family. Was he merely an overwhelmed father of 18 struggling to keep a plural marriage afloat? Or was he, as many fans claim, emotionally manipulative, narcissistic, and unfairly biased toward Robyn? Meri's choice of words, particularly "a place that no longer serves you," suggests that she no longer sees Kody or the polygamous structure he insisted on as offering any value in her life. It's a profound statement considering that Meri was once the woman who proposed polygamy as a way of life, the one who first suggested that they take their story to television. This public reclamation of voice and power is even more poignant when viewed against Meri's earlier years in the series. In Season 1, she was often seen as the most devoted and emotionally invested of the wives, willing to endure emotional hardship for the sake of family unity. Her heartbreak when Kody married Robyn and then legally divorced Meri to adopt Robyn's children was palpable. Even after the catfishing scandal, which many saw as a cry for emotional connection, Meri remained hopeful that reconciliation was possible. That hope, however, was repeatedly crushed by Kody's blunt rejections, his visible discomfort around her. Now, Meri is making it abundantly clear that she no longer waits for Kody's approval, nor does she need it. Her spiritual journey, entrepreneurial growth, and renewed focus on self-love speak volumes about the direction in which she's heading. It's no longer about rebuilding a marriage or reclaiming a place within a dysfunctional family structure. It's about starting over and doing so on her own terms. The broader impact of Meri's post cannot be overstated. It has inspired countless fans to reflect on their own relationships and question whether they too are staying in situations that no longer serve their happiness or growth. In that sense, Meri has become more than just a reality TV star. She's evolved into a symbol of personal evolution, reminding people that it's okay to walk away from something broken, even if it means setting fire to the bridge behind you. As the next season of Sister Wives looms on the horizon, Meri's bold social media move has added a new layer of intrigue. Will her personal evolution be featured on the show? Will Kody address the tension? And most importantly, will this Instagram post be the defining moment when fans, and perhaps even Kody himself, realize that Meri is no longer the woman clinging to a lost dream but a woman fully in charge of her future? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear: Meri Brown has found her voice and she's no longer whispering. Whether through symbolic captions or life-affirming choices, she's stepping into a new chapter, one that no longer includes Kody Brown, and she's doing it with grace, strength, and a quiet defiance that speaks louder than any scripted reality television scene ever could. In a striking revelation that has reverberated throughout the fanbase of TLC's Sister Wives, Michael T. Brown, one of the elder daughters of Kody Brown and his third wife Christine, has made bold and emotional claims about her father's behavior and character. In a moment that seemed equal parts catharsis and confrontation, Michael T. pulled back the curtain on the deeply personal wounds that have remained buried beneath the glossy surface of a reality television empire. Her words were unfiltered and piercing, calling her father shallow and accusing him of having a favorite child, a comment that has set off a tidal wave of discussion, speculation, and emotion within the Brown family's already turbulent universe. This revelation was not simply a fleeting remark or casual comment made in passing. Instead, Michael T.'s statement, made during a candid livestream and later echoed across various social media platforms, appeared to come from years of emotional build-up. Her words struck a chord not just because of their content, but because of who said them. As one of the few children in the Brown family who has typically been measured and neutral in public discussions, Mykelti's decision to speak out is especially notable. Her comments signaled a breaking point, a moment when her silence gave way to honesty, and when the undercurrents of resentment and favoritism that have long been hinted at within the family finally found a voice. Mykelti Brown was born into a polygamous family where emotions, loyalties, and dynamics are perpetually complex. With 18 siblings and 4 mothers vying for emotional space within one household unit, the potential for favoritism has always been high. For years, fans have speculated that Kody Brown, despite portraying himself as a fair and attentive father, has exhibited preferential treatment, especially toward the children he shares with his 4th wife, Robyn. Mykelti's recent assertion did not just confirm those suspicions but validated what many have sensed for quite some time, that there are clear lines of emotional proximity and distance within the Brown family, and that Kody has not done enough to conceal where his true affections lie. During the discussion in which she made the comments, Mykelti appeared both composed and visibly disappointed. She described her father as emotionally distant, superficial in how he distributes his attention, and above all, more invested in appearances than substance. Her use of the word shallow drew immediate attention. It wasn't just an emotional outburst. It was an intentional word that carried weight. Calling someone shallow implies a lack of depth in understanding, empathy, and connection. In a family structure already stretched thin by multiple relationships and numerous children, the lack of emotional depth from the patriarch could leave a lasting impact on the development and self-worth of his children. Even more explosive was Mykelti's assertion that her father clearly has a favorite child. She didn't name this child explicitly, but fans immediately speculated that she was referring to one of Robyn's kids, perhaps Aurora or Solomon, both of whom have enjoyed more screen time and seemingly more attention from Kody in recent years. If true, this favoritism may not be limited to the children alone. Many viewers have long accused Kody of favoring Robyn over his other wives, leading to the breakdown of his relationships with Christine, Yanel, and Meri. Mykelti's comments may have confirmed what many have suspected all along, that the favoritism that fractured Kody's marriages has extended to his children as well. The emotional implications of favoritism within a large family, especially one as publicly scrutinized as the Browns, cannot be overstated. Children who feel sidelined or undervalued often carry emotional scars that last well into adulthood. They question their worth, struggle with identity, and often seek validation in places that may be unhealthy. For Mykelti, who has recently embraced motherhood herself and seems to be building a peaceful and stable life with her husband Tony Padrone, this revelation may be part of a healing process. By naming the pain and identifying the source, she may be taking the first step in breaking a cycle that has haunted her family for years. Fans of Sister Wives were quick to respond to Mykelti's candid remarks. Many flooded social media with words of encouragement and support, praising her for her bravery and honesty. They sympathized with her pain and echoed their own frustrations about Kody's perceived favoritism. For many viewers, the show has become more than just entertainment. It's a window into the raw and real struggles of plural marriage and the emotional toll it can take on individuals, especially the children who often have no say in the matter. Mykelti's voice has amplified those concerns and given a face to the often silent sufferings of the Brown children. What makes this moment particularly pivotal is how it may reshape the family's public narrative. While Christine, Yanel, and Meri have all stepped away from their marriages to Kody and shared pieces of their truth, the children have largely remained on the sidelines, choosing silence or neutrality. Mykelti breaking that mold is significant. It may signal the beginning of a broader reckoning within the Brown family, where more of the children come forward to express how their upbringing in a fractured, high-profile polygamist home shaped their emotional landscapes. Kody Brown has not publicly responded to Mykelti's comments, but his silence is growing louder by the day. In the past, he has been quick to defend himself, often with fiery rhetoric and a defensive stance that borders on denial. If and when he addresses this situation, it will be telling to see whether he accepts responsibility or doubles down on his belief that he has done his best. His response, or lack thereof, may also influence how the rest of the family moves forward. Will other children step into the light and share their experiences? Will more truths emerge, finally illuminating the emotional realities that fans have only been able to guess at for years. It is also important to view Michael T's statement through the lens of intergenerational healing. By speaking her truth now, she is not just confronting the past but possibly creating a new path for her own family. As a mother of 3, she seems deeply committed to breaking the cycle of emotional neglect and shallow parenting she attributes to her own upbringing. Her willingness to be honest about her father's shortcomings could very well be the cornerstone of a new narrative, one rooted in emotional honesty, accountability, and growth. Interestingly, this isn't the first time Kody Brown has been accused of being emotionally inconsistent with his children. Over the course of the show's many seasons, fans have witnessed his estrangement from several of his older children, including his fractured relationship with Gabriel and Garrison, the sons he shares with Yanel. Those boys openly expressed their anger and hurt during the COVID-19 pandemic, when Kody's strict isolation protocols seemed to disproportionately affect Yanel's and Christine's households. Michael T's comments serve as yet another piece in a puzzle that paints a picture of a father who, whether intentionally or not, appears to prioritize certain relationships over others. This favoritism, when seen in the context of the Brown family's polygamous structure, becomes even more damaging. In a plural marriage where fairness and equality are supposed to be the guiding principles, any deviation from those ideals leads to imbalance and resentment. If one wife or one set of children is favored, the system collapses under the weight of emotional inequality. Michael T's statement may be the clearest indictment yet of just how uneven the family dynamic has become, and how those imbalances have led to the emotional unraveling of the next generation. As the Brown family continues to evolve in the public eye, Michael T's brave disclosure marks a significant turning point. It shatters the illusion of harmony that Kody once tried to maintain and forces viewers to reevaluate their understanding of what has truly happened behind the scenes. No longer can the narrative be controlled solely by adult voices. The children, now adults themselves, are beginning to speak. And when they do, they bring with them years of observation, pain, and insight that the show has only ever skimmed the surface of. Whether this moment leads to greater accountability or further division remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, Michael T. Brown has changed the conversation. Her words, sharp, sincere, and sorrowful, are now part of the ever-growing story of the Brown family. A story that is no longer just about marriages breaking apart, but about the emotional fallout that follows. In calling her father shallow and suggesting that he plays favorites, Michael T. has not just voiced a personal truth. She has exposed a family fracture that has long needed the light. And in doing so, she may have also opened the door for healing, not just for herself, but for any child who has ever felt unseen.